Good morning, how are you? I hope you're well. This is Mel's Mindful Moments. Do you know what triggers you? Are there certain things that really trigger you? And when you're triggered, how do you behave? Oh, are you cringing at the moment? Well, for me, it's rudeness, lack of manners. Now, it's not about what's right or wrong about triggers. We have them. So first of all, I find it's accepting that is your trigger. But what it also highlights is when you're triggered, like I was the other day. I'd had a lovely walk and I was just driving along, and someone had stopped to see to their car just in front of me, so was blocking the road. But I stopped. I could see that they had something to do, and that was fine. But I smiled when they looked up and they just gave me this very rude look. Got in the car and then got to the next road, didn't indicate. It was this, and I was very triggered to go, wow, that's an arrogant way of being. And the minute those thoughts came into my head, I then went, whoa, stop, breathe. I will not let you steal my smile. My decision to how I react. Because for me, that's a really good thing to develop. Recognize what your triggers are, and then taking responsibility for how you react. Stop for a minute, feel that reaction. What is it? Where does it come from? Is it justified? Because I don't think a lot of the time when we're triggered and our emotions get really, really strong, it's usually we need to look inwards as to where that comes from. And just find a way. Practice. It's like anything else. It's another muscle to practice. How not to be triggered. And I just thought that worked for me. That message just came in my head. I will not allow you to steal my smile. And then I just sent kind thoughts to that person because I thought, I don't know what's going on with their day. They could be having a really bad time. They could have had really bad news. They could be grumpy. That might be their way. They could be struggling to cope. It doesn't really matter, but I found that so worked to bring me back to a central space of peace and calm. I smiled again, I went on my way, and I kept that within me. Because what I'm finding more and more, especially in these days, is the need to take more and more responsibility for ourselves, for our health, for our way of being, our reactions. It does take practice and it can take a bit of work, but what can come from it is peace of mind, a stronger resilience, a happier way of being. But the only way we can work on it more is to just notice when it happens. And if you do get triggered, don't then beat yourself up and go, oh, I'm such a bad person, I got triggered. Just look at it, observe it, because the minute we see it, we're more able to do our best to do something about it the next time. Or to see it as a sign that maybe we're bordering on the edge of a strong emotion, that maybe we need some self-care, maybe we need some self-love, some nurturing ourselves. The important bit is we have the conversation with ourselves about how to take it forward. I know I have been researching and always have done. I've always had an interest in health and every part of it, of well-being, ever since I was very young. And it's interesting that there are remedies that my mother and grandmother talked to me about, like gargling with salt water with a sore throat. And it's interesting that I was recently reading that they are doing research at the moment. Scientists are doing research with gargles for this problem that's in our midst at the moment, with essential oils, salt, different things to enable us to keep our throats healthy and to kill off any intruders, little tiny intruders. So I found myself thinking, you know, some of the things we've maybe thrown away and don't look at anymore can be actually really, really useful. But again, the reason I'm talking about this is because it just continues that it's about responsibility for our own health, that we can't expect someone else to always be there to give us a solution, that we need to work in tandem with the medical world to help ourselves, to look after our own health, not just to sit back and wait for someone else to do it for us. So I just was feeling very strongly for me about continuing to see where I take a responsibility for me, because you feel stronger when you do that. You feel happier, you feel more resilient. So with that, I wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Be well.